Yeah, I heard about that already. But what if they decide to spill it to the papers? We need to start thinking now about covering our asses. I know people who can deal with this, but they'll need at least a week. Plus, if we want to...
Lieutenant Stat, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have Jack Boyd on the line.
Who?
Jack Boyd, sir. He's calling from the hospital.
Gibson, I'll call you back. Don't do anything without my team. Jack, well, wow. I didn't know you were awake. Doctor said you could be in that coma for months, even years. How are you feeling?
Tell me who's in control, Martin.
I don't think I follow you.
For God's sake, Martin, tell me it's you running the department and not some stooge from the mayor's office.
Yes, Jack. I am performing the duties of the police chief, but the new man's coming on Saturday, Kevin Paulson.
Kevin Paulson?
Yes, it's the guy from the...
I know who Kevin Paulson is. Now listen carefully, Martin. I'm coming back to work. I'm Freeburg's police chief, and it's going to stay that way for another 4 months. Now you get on the phone and do whatever needs to be done. You run into any problems, threaten them with the media, court, or blackmail. But I don't think they'll give you any trouble. The mayor knows it's easier to just wait until the winter than deal with a scandal. Oh, and assemble a press conference.
Listen, Jack, I know the truth is on your side, but you have to take into account...
Martin, how long since you transferred to my department?
Coming up on 5 years now.
How many times in the last 5 years have you come to my birthday party? How many times have you come to the farm when I had the boys over?
Never had the pleasure, but...
Never. Because you couldn't care less. And I don't care for you either, Stat. It wasn't me who appointed you deputy, and you wouldn't have been my first choice. But if you do ever come over to my house, you won't miss the big hole in my backyard. Garbage pit. You know, for old rubbish. A smelly hole filled with rotten furniture and other crap. So, Stat, if I even for a moment doubt your devotion, you'll go straight into that pile of trash. Maybe you'll get to catch up with some old friends. You remember Kendrick, don't you?
I'll schedule the press conference for tomorrow, all right, Jack?
The day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going shopping. No, that would be too much.
Wow, Jack, what's with the outfit? You planning on...
The pit in the backyard, Martin. Always remember about the pit in the backyard.
Don't talk to anyone before the press conference starts. I'll try to get you on stage quickly. Kevin Paulson is here. He wanted to...
Jack! I hardly recognize you. That's quite an image for a man like you. An old dog with a new trick, right? We should see each other more often. How long has it been?
Last time I saw you, I fired you, Kevin.
Ha! You mean the day I resigned in protest over the corruption and lawlessness at your police department, right?
Yeah, repeat that shit often enough, someday you might start believing it.
You know, Jack, I'm glad that everything turned out so well. Unlike you, I've made good use of the past 7 years. My new construction company keeps getting jobs from the city, and we're doing really well. I have a new house, new hobbies, even a new wife. Maybe you've met her. Shelley Rogers.
Oh, Shelley Rogers. So you really are in bed with the mayor.
It's a dream come true. All my dreams have come true. Only one thing remains. To bring order to the Freeburg Police Department.
You being serious, Kevin?
I'm serious as ever, Jack. I'm the most serious man you know.
It's not often you see the past and the future Freeburg police chiefs at the same press conference. I hope you have time to talk, Kevin. There's something we need to discuss. Jack, the reporters are waiting for you.
My retirement plan somehow just got turned into a circus. Fortunately, I'm pretty good at swallowing swords and jumping through burning hoops. They all seem to like it.
At one point, we have a situation here. 415 completion. 410B in progress. Got in progress here. 412.
Impressive recovery, Mr. Boyd. I'm still not happy about how soon you're back to work. Well, not happy as your doctor. As a resident of Freiburg, I'm immensely grateful for it.
Really?
Just don't tell anyone, or they'll pull my license.
Well, thank you again for coming to see me at night.
Oh, well, whatever you need, Mr. Boyd. Any doctor in this town would come running any hour, day or night, you can believe me. You're not suffering from headaches. It says here that you are taking painkillers after a back injury. But the prescribed dose is enough to...
Dr. Krasinski, you trust me?
And, sorry?
Do you trust me?
In what way, Mr. Boyd?
You think I'm an honest and reasonable man, Doctor?
You're joking, Mr. Boyd. Thanks to you, my wife finally agreed to buy a house here, and we've decided to have children. Thanks to you, I'm not afraid to visit my patients at night. I think you are the most honest and reasonable person in the city, Mr. Boyd.
Great. You see, Dr. Krasinski, I'm an addict.
Mr. Boyd, is...
Well, not a drug addict in the way you might imagine. I'm not some weak-willed junkie. Sometimes I stay clean so long that the tablets stay locked in the barn so long they go past the expiration date. But there are less pleasant stories.
You know what? Let's...
I once took a whole bottle right there in the barn. Passed out in my own vomit. I almost choked. I fought the convulsions, somehow managed to break 4 ribs. For 2 weeks, my chest was so sore I wanted to die. But for those 2 weeks, I kept swallowing pills. Couldn't stop.
If you want, I could...
I once took a dose right before a party at home. My wife Laura had some old friends over from college. I didn't take that many, maybe 5 or 6 pills, but it felt like I'd taken a few hundred. I passed out while I was carrying a tray of drinks. On the way down, I knocked over a set of Laura's scented candles. The house almost burned down. The repairs took a good chunk from our savings.
Mr. Boyd, if you'll allow me, I just...
As you can see, Doctor, I'm well aware of the seriousness of the situation and the possible consequences. But sometimes I need the pills. I don't use the word lightly. Sometimes I've got to work on cases with more energy than I've got. I can't do it without 'em. And I know you want me doing my job. So tomorrow I want you to come here and bring me some tablets. Lots of tablets. 10 bottles. No, better 15. Yeah, 15 bottles. The next 3 months are going to be extremely difficult, Doc.
I would like to discuss your...
You'll bring the pills, Doctor?
Yes, Mr. Boyd. Yes.
Very good. Look, I don't want to trouble you any further. I bet your family doesn't like you running away with me at night. I'd bet they'd rather I was still in that coma.
214 in progress. A in progress. We've got a situation here. 214 complete. A in progress. A complete.
Mr. Boyd, I'm going home. Do you need anything?
Oh, no, don't go. I need to talk to you. I won't keep you long. I just need to make one phone call and I'll be right out, okay?
Of course, Mr. Boyd.
Do you know what time it is?
I didn't mean, well, maybe I did. Guess I'm a son of a bitch.
Jack? Good Lord, Jack, I wanted to talk to you. Was wondering if you'd call. How do you feel?
I'm good, Mrs. Markham. Better than ever. The back pain is gone, the insomnia is gone, my hair is growing back, and my pathological indecisiveness seems to have run off somewhere.
Jack, if you think I had anything to do with that...
I'll waste no more time trying to think, Mrs. Markham. Every second counts. There's a lot to do. And one of those things is finding Laura.
Jack, your tone is scaring me.
Good. Turns out I have a knack for that, scaring people. So, Mrs. Markham, I'm going to look for my wife, and if you somehow get in my way, I'll send a special squad to your house. First they'll throw your dog in the fire, then they'll arrest you for prostitution.
What? What the prostitution?
Sometimes it's necessary to invent charges. It's not like I can arrest you for being an unbearable bitch. Emma, I need a detective.
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. What shift?
No, not one of ours. A private detective.
Oh.
I know that when your father stole your mother's jewelry and left her, you hired a private investigator. You didn't go to the police.
You know, Mr. Boyd, it was a family problem, and we felt that it would...
I understand perfectly, Emma. You don't need to explain anything. I'm in a similar situation. As you might have heard, my wife left the house. She's missing, you could say.
I'm not sure what you're...
I know you've heard all about it. I want her found, but I don't want the department involved. Same reason you didn't. So I decided to hire your private detective. Think you can arrange it?
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. I'll call him and arrange everything. And don't worry, he'll keep it a secret.
Fine. What do you need from me?
Well, Just gather all the information that might be useful and put it in an envelope, bring it to me, and I'll take it to him.
Good. Okay, take the day off tomorrow and get a good night's sleep. The day after tomorrow, I'll have that envelope for you.
In progress. In progress. Complete. 310 complete. 310 410A in progress. Ten complete.
I was trying to raise 10-1.
410A complete.
All the information about Laura, just like you asked.
Mr. Boyd, keep your voice down. Someone could be listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. It's my first time doing something like this. Here's the envelope. Everything's in there.
Fine. Mr. Boyd, please write for Mr. Fry on this envelope and drop it in the mailbox across the street.
What? I don't want this handled like it's some kind of game.
Mr. Boyd, those are the rules. Now please lower your voice.
Fine. Okay, Emma. I'll put this envelope in the mailbox across the street, just like you said. Wonder how that damn Mr. Fry is gonna get an envelope out of the mailbox.
Talking to yourself, Mr. Boyd? And we thought we'd have to catch you at the police station. But it turns out Jack Boyd has come down to meet us personally. Do you know why we're here, Mr. Boyd?
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Eugene Chaffee. I'm a businessman. Rather, a restaurateur. Although I usually tell everyone I'm a businessman. Which sounds better? Businessman or restaurateur?
Oh, I think I've heard of you. You have a restaurant and a slaughterhouse. And you serve refried veal steaks.
Well, refried veal steaks isn't my only business, but perhaps it's what I'm best known for. I thought it was time we meet, Mr. Boyd, and my friend here. I believe you're already acquainted. His name is Troy Starr.
Never heard of him. So what do you want, Mr. Chaffee? Looking for a spokesman for your beef products? I recently changed my image and my hair.
Eugene and I really want to help you, Mr. Boyd. Although after our phone call, I've had my doubts. I was making love to my wife, and you called me and told me to fuck myself. That kind of behavior is rude and inappropriate, Mr. Boyd.
I didn't mean to offend you, Mr. Starr. Just thumbing my nose at that prick mayor of ours. You keep making love to your wife, or did I ruin the mood?
There's a nice cafe around the corner. Spare us a couple of minutes of your time, Mr. Boyd. Lately, I've been so busy that I rarely get to sit and relax in such a nice place, and with such interesting company.
Get to the point, Mr. Chaffee. I'm busy, too. In fact, I think I hear some teenagers next door robbing and raping an old woman. Maybe she's your aunt.
You see, Mr. Boyd.
Good morning. What do you want?
A big mug of beer.
We don't serve big mugs of beer.
Then a small mug of beer.
We don't have beer in any size glasses. This is a family restaurant. Moms and dads come with small children. I can bring you a lollipop to suck on.
Monica, where's your famous charm? Bring the gentleman a beer. I'm sure you've got a bottle under the counter. Check between the dead cats and the dried heads of your ex-boyfriends. This man, by the way, is your police chief.
Don't be silly. The police chief has a bald spot the size of a toilet seat.
So, as I was...
Oh, I'm sorry, Eugene. It's Rogers. Probably forgot how to wipe his ass.
When you're 82, Troy, you'll probably forget you need to wipe your ass at all. But very well, run along. We can continue without you. So, Mr. Boyd, as you may already know, the official job of my old friend Mr. Starr is to cause trouble for you. But believe me, it's not out of malice. It's to maintain his cover at City Hall. But to somewhat balance out this trouble, I've decided to help you out. Every day, pay close attention to your morning newspaper, Mr. Boyd. You'll find messages hidden among the pages. Simple notes, but make no mistake, the information you'll find there is extremely useful. You see, Troy Starr isn't my only spy. That's it, Mr. Boyd. I told you it would only take a couple of minutes. I wouldn't want to disturb you while you're enjoying your drink. Keep in touch, my dear little cupcake. Oh, yes, I'm quite good at puns.
Never imagined what meeting Robespierre would be like, but I certainly didn't figure the first thing he'd do was buy me a drink. Getting them to serve a beer at a family cafe? And this Robespierre has some strange superpowers. Strange, but not entirely useless.
1111C in progress. It's 11 complete. In progress.
I was trying to raise 10-1.
1111C complete. 910B in progress. Officer on scene, looks like we have a situation here. 910B complete. 214 in progress. 210 complete. Complete. progress. Officer Austin, it looks like we have a situation here. 911. 411, progress.
I was trying to raise
1110 complete. 911 in progress. Nine testing in progress. Nine testing